why shouldn't you go into cybersecurity? Who shouldn't consider this as a career and be as straightforward and honest as possible?
Okay, there are three main reasons, three
Mm.
main things, right? The rule of threes,
Mm-hmm.
Very basic, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you don't like staring at screens.
Fair enough.
But then you might not be watching this video if you don't like staring at screens.
Yeah.
But if you don't feel like staring at screens all day long, your computer screens, right? You feel like the blue light affects you. You don't want to stare at screens all day long. You probably have difficulty working in most companies if so. But there are people who cannot stand staring at screens. They like meeting people. They like going out there meeting people. They don't want to answer too many emails. Then this career is definitely not for you because you're dealing with computers day in, day out. There's screens all around you, right? So that is definitely one thing. Number two, you don't like staring at the terminal or the command prompt, or you don't like typing too much. Like that kind of world, right? Where you're typing in a very technical language, right? So we do bash scripting. We even in our training, we do a lot of bash, a lot of command prompt, a lot of PowerShell, some basic Python. Why? Because those are important for you to automate things. In cybersecurity, right? If you have to do everything manually, trust me, you don't want to do the work. So a large part of the work is even knowing your way around the systems, navigating a Linux system to be able to utilize it properly. So if you don't like typing and staring at the screen and trying to figure out which word goes where and whether you're in the right syntax, it's not really for you, right? So when we run a workshop where people get to experience what's it like to be a cybersecurity person for a day, we had people literally rage quit on us after about half an hour through the assessment and go like, sorry, this is really not for me.
But it's good, right? At least they know that, it's not for them. And Ethan is referring to our cybersecurity experiential workshop, CEW, where we have people come down for 6 hours where they try out what cybersecurity is like. And it's okay. Some of them find that, hey, this is not for me, which is fine, because at least you don't spend so much time and money figuring out whether it's for you. Come down for one day. But anyway, sorry, carry on. The last point.
And actually, talking about that, right? So one of the major reasons why this is very important is because how do you know that you're that person who should enjoy cybersecurity?
Right.
So this is one of the best ways. You can imagine all you want. You can try out all the peripheral stuff, but until you sit down and actually experience what's it like, it's a different story, right? So that's why we do that experiential workshop. The last but not least is you don't like problem solving. You like to be told what to do. So what this means is that if you are in a career where you want a career where you just follow procedures, clock in, clock out, you don't need to think, you don't need to learn, you don't need to develop your skills, then this is definitely not for you. Cybersecurity is a very exciting, always growing field. One of the major things is like the evolution of even what we term as SOC tier 1, SOC tier 1, right? Where your basic level of people have to evolve now just to even keep up to date, right? Is you need to start doing automations yourself. You need to detect what is actually a real alert and what is not a real alert. You need to know how to automate all these parts.
Right.
In the past, you don't need this, right? So the last 20 years, these were not very important. So as part of the industry, you need to keep evolving and keep developing. As long as you do that, you will have an iron rice bowl. If you don't do that, it's very easy for you to drop out. So that's where, like, I would say, like, if you're not into problem solving, you're not into learning, you just want to coast. Cybersecurity is definitely not for you.